Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Music Den. I'm your host Armando Venditti, hoping you guys are having a good day. And above all else, that you're indeed looking after yourselves and one another. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome back to the channel before we get into the topic of another fantastic episode, Mr. Jim Bricker. How's it going, Jim?
I'm doing very well, Armando. Thank you for allowing me to tag along.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another installment of Attack of the Killer B-Sides. I was going to do this solo, but I like Jim so much, I brought him along for the ride. Now,
Aw,
this is the B side of this album that we're gonna. First of all, this album overall, um, upon its release, had a slow growth in terms of popularity, but once it hit major. I do believe that at last count, this album has sold in excess of 40 million copies worldwide. Ladies and
you
gentlemen,
don't say.
I do say, yes, my dear boy, I do say. The artist is Meatloaf, and if you haven't guessed it by now, the album in question is Bad Out of Hell.
Oh,
Now,
Richard Corbin, I love what you've done.
there you go. There you go. Now, Bad Out of Hell has a long history, a long sordid history, but in a good way. Um, I'll give you the information on it first. Bad Out of Hell was released on October 21st, 1977, through Cleveland International slash Epic Records. Um, Bad Out of Hell was recorded between 1975 and 1976, produced by Todd Rundgren, um, Meatloaf's debut release. Now, again, there are 7 songs on this album. We're going to be concentrating on side B, containing 3 of the 7 songs. Now, in terms of the music on this album, there is a history to it. The songs started out as songs for a musical called Neverland, written by Jim Steinman. And eventually, they don't know exactly when, but the idea was to record an album. And Jim Steinman uh, at first said, "I have no idea of how to record an album. I don't even know how to go about doing any of that. I'm just a songwriter for musicals." And Jim Steinman, according to Meatloaf, was the encyclopedia of rock. And there was a lot of respect between the two of them. There was a lot of arguing between the two of them in terms of musical direction, etc. And eventually, what they both agreed on and what they came up with was the music on Band Out of Hell. Now, again, side two has 3 tracks. It starts off with the beautiful, melodic, poetic 283 Ain't Bad. Now, this song was this was a switch out. The first track, the original track listing for side two was, I believe, to be started with a song called More Than You Deserve from the musical. And then it was switched out with 283 and Bad. Now, if you watch the classic album series featuring Bad Out of Hell for VH1, Jim Steinman said that he pictured this song as more of a Johnny Cash country type of song. And he obviously changed the idea for the arrangements of this song. But the theme behind the song is about uh, a man who is basically telling the girlfriend or the woman that would do anything for him. He's saying to her, I need you, I want you, but there ain't no way that I'm ever going to love you. Now, guys out there, a little footnote. Don't lead that as a conversation with your girlfriend or your wife. Don't ever do that. Don't ever. That's a surefire way to get your ass kicked out of the door. Okay. If you ever say that to a woman, okay. But
This has been relationship advice with Dr. Joyce Brothers Venditti.
there you go. There you go. This song, 23 and Bad, was a lead-off single for Bad Out of Hell.
Oh, yeah.
Monster hit. Monster hit. The arrangement of the song is beautifully done. The musicians playing on the majority of the album, I failed to mention, were the E Street Band, Max Weinberg on drums, Roy Bittan on piano. They Their contribution to this album was stellar. But I do believe on this song, drums are provided by John Wilcox, who would go on to play with Todd Rundgren's Utopia at one point. Uh, the, the the message aside in the lyrics, the music that is done for the song, the arrangement of this track, it is simply majestic. It is poetic. It is symphonic to me in some sections. And if you listen to the harmony vocals done by Rory Dodd, Ellen Foley, Tom Rundgren also, they if you isolate the vocals, you do hear an Eagles influence, sorry, on the
Hmm.
vocal phrasings. Just a And we were talking before we started taping about some of the lyrics. But there ain't no Coupe de Ville hiding at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box, meaning you can wish for something as much as you want, but you can't force it to happen.
Yep.
If love isn't there, it isn't there, which is what he's trying to tell the woman who loves him, but just cannot return the affections for her. Um, Again, song was a massive hit on the radio. Do you have any comments about any recollections on this song? Or
Well, I certainly do. I remember this. So I was, probably 11 when this came out, maybe 12. Um, and I remember uh, Two Out of Three Ain't Bad just sort of dominating AM radio. It was the single edit. So there was a whole chunk of the song that just I wasn't aware of
yes,
until I got the album. Um, but I even in hindsight, I don't think the single suffers. I mean, it gets that message across so very well. I mean, obviously, um, the the composition is amazing. Meatloaf singing is amazing. Roy Bittan's piano playing is just beautiful as almost always. Um,
hmm
the question I have for you is that, you're usually a one to kind of say, oh, single edit's bad, bad. I'm wondering if you feel that way about this, if you feel the single edit is like far inferior to the complete
I
song.
I don't remember this single edit. I mean, I was 8 years old when this song came out, ladies and gentlemen, and the album came out. Uh, I don't 7 years old. Sorry, I don't remember the single edit. I do remember the uh, the video for it, and it could
Mm,
have been the single edit. And the video set up. It was a performance video where you had Jim Steinman on piano, and Meatloaf sitting there in his tuxedo with this red handkerchief, and he's sweating bullets, and he's doing his best, Pavarotti form, like, imitation, just sitting there.
sure, yeah.
And he's just singing his heart out. And it was just a beautiful, very emotional rendition of a version of him. Obviously it was, uh, you know, lip synced, but it was just a beautiful uh, snapshot of this song in terms of the time. And yeah, it's yeah, lyrical content aside, the way it's phrased, I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. But don't be sad, 283 ain't bad. It's like there's a bit of a comical twist in that phrasing.
Oh,
Um,
you don't say.
oh, definitely, definitely. But it's a very emotional song to me. It 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 rings your heart, it touches your heart, my heart, I should say, in such a way that It's still a classic to me. I don't skip, excuse me, I don't skip this. I don't skip any song on the album, but especially this song, I do not hit the skip button or, for this track. Um,
Yep.
and this side of the album, for me, to me, each song is like a movie. It's like a little play. Um, and takes you through different emotions. Okay. Uh, to me, this is the ultimate breakup song. Okay. From that, we move on to the ultimate parking song
Hmm.
in terms of the couples that are together. Uh, and the
Coupling.
song, a coupling, of course, yes. The song is, of course, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Uh, this song, again, according to Jim Steinman, was the ultimate, uh, how do you phrase it? Parking
Mhm.
song. Yes. Um,
Yes.
and Paradise by the Dashboard Light has a playing time of 8 minutes and 28 seconds. I was saying to Jim prior to taping that the original length of the song clocked in at 27 minutes plus. Okay. Uh,
That's a lot of lasciviousness right there.
yes. The song is separated into three sections: Paradise, Let Me Sleep on It, and Praying for the End of Time. Now, the 27-minute plus version never made it to record. When Todd Rundgren was presented this piece of music, he literally said, "How in the hell am I going to make this into a song to put on one side of a record?" Meaning, one side of an album is 20 minutes plus, 20 minutes maximum playing time. So this had to be whittled down. And when,
Which I gotta say, it's kind of funny hearing that from Todd, considering there was like a side of a
yeah,
Utopia album that was what, 33 minutes?
30
So
minutes plus. Yes, yes.
yeah,
Oh, pot kind of kettle black kind of a thing. Uh,
just a little.
So when Meatloaf heard or saw that it was cut down to this length, he said, "You've ruined the song. You've ruined the song. Like it's garbage." And Todd Rundgren said, "27 minutes down to 8 minutes plus. Just listen to what I've done. Just shut up and listen to what I've done." Well, basically, again, the song is set up where you have a couple that are gone out on a date and they parking somewhere, and the boy thinks he's going to get some, okay, in this song. So he's trying to woo her into, going at
Into
least
getting some.
into getting some,
Yes.
taking their relationship just a little bit uh, further. And um, he basically does. And during the during the baseball play-by-play section where they're actually engaging in in petting, etc. You
Hmm.
hear sound effects of them groaning and moaning and moving this way, moving that way, and actually Meatloaf saying, "Did I hurt you?" At one point. So when it gets to the climax of that section where the band comes in heavy and the cymbal crashes are happening, uh, and you hear the announcer saying, "Holy cow, I think he's going to make it." Ellen Foley comes in and yells, "Stop right there!" Right? It's like she gets to like second base, okay, and she pushes him off, and the guitars come in very, very succinctly, and then she says, "But exactly, exactly,"
Yeah.
and she says, "Before we go any
Building the
further,
tension.
yes," she says, "Before we go any further, do you love me?" There is
Will you love me
nothing.
forever? Will you
Exactly.
need me? Will you
Yes.
never leave me? I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Guys, I will tell you, there was nothing that will kill a mood more than that. And even when you hear him respond to her like, No, no, you kind of get the feeling, the tension that he is basically feeling like a bear caught in a trap, right? So
Well said.
then he says to her, "Let me sleep on it." It goes into part two with "Let me sleep on it," and it goes back and like, and beautiful piano that's done, and the drums, like it goes through different time signature changes and tempo changes, but it works perfectly. Like like it's brilliance. It's sonic brilliance. Okay, in
Yep.
my very humble opinion. And then uh let me sleep on it section keeps going, and it's a verbal Wimbledon back and forth. She's like, will you love me forever? He's like, let me sleep on it. And as he's talking about, as he keeps explaining to her, I need to think about this. His anger and his stress level is hitting like the pinnacle of,
Exactly.
because he goes, all I want is tail, and she's giving me an ultimatum here. And he's like,
Yeah, the girl is like, "What's it gonna be, boy?
yeah,
Yes or
or
no?"
no. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the section of let me sleep on it, he's getting more upset. He's like, I'll give you an answer in the morning, like he's almost screaming at her. And then the tension keeps going between them for the let me sleep on it section. And then
Yep.
finally, he just says, I couldn't take it any longer. Lord, it was crazy when the feeling came upon me like a tidal wave. Started swearing to my God and on my mother's grave that I would love you to the end of time. I swore I would love you to the end of time. But then he says, I've had it. But now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. So this is the final section of the
Brilliant.
track where the band comes back in full force, guitars blazing, piano runs galore, going nuts. Uh, Max Weinberg on the drums in terms of the intricate drum passages and the different time signature changes. Immaculate, on point, immaculate, on the meter, in the pocket, however you want to describe it. He is sublime.
He nails it.
Okay.
He and
Okay?
Roy just own this tune.
Just amazingly done. Amazingly done. And basically, he's saying to her that, in essence, you're driving me fucking crazy. All I wanted was a piece of tail. You're giving me all this crap,
All I wanted
okay?
was a piece of tail.
Exactly. He says,
All I
I
wanted.
could I could have loved you, but now you're driving me up a fucking wall, so leave me the hell alone. You know, praying for the end of time so I can get away from you. Okay, I'm
I'll
done with
never
you.
break my promise or break my vow,
But
but
God
God
only
only
knows
knows what
what
I could
I could
do.
do right now.
Yep.
That's so now I'm praying for the end of time. That's all that I can do. So it went from in the beginning of during the paradise section, what was to be what they hoped to be, or what he hoped to be, the heights of orgasmic passion, to I need a gun to get out of this situation because she's driving me up a wall. Okay. Um,
Firepower is never mentioned in the song, as far as I recall, but that
no,
could be
but
what he's
but
going for. Yeah.
metaphorically speaking,
Sure.
and the song ends on the fade out where they're overlapping each other, like almost like, not overlapping, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a call and response kind of thing where he's saying it was long ago and far away, but it was so
It
much
was so
better
much better than.
than yesterday. And she's responding with, "I never felt so good and never felt so right, and we were going like the metal on the edge of a knife," which was the lyric that came in on the Paradise section. So everything comes
By
around.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, everything comes around full circle. So he's thinking in the beginning that this is going to be perfect. It's going to be, the moonlit night. We're going to have a good time. We're going to, take our relationship further. She wants more than what he could give or what he's willing to give. And it's just dramatic, you know, dare I say, theatrical rock, pastiche kind of thing. But it
Oh, you
works.
dare.
Yes, I do. But it works perfectly. And the song fades out. Then it moves into the final song, track 7, For Crying Out Loud. I have never heard, obviously, it was pieced together through takes, different takes and stuff, but I have never heard a more passionate vocal delivery by Meatloaf on a song. And yes, he screams through the title track and Paradise, but For Crying Out Loud basically starts out with a beautiful piano section, uh, and the lead off lyric what starts, I was lost till you were found. Okay, so he basically is saying to the woman in his life, may not be the same woman, he may have moved on, but he's saying to the woman in his life, I love you for all that you've given me, for all the time we've had together, and I hope to be able to give you all that you've given me in our life
Mhm.
together. And there's beautiful sections to it, beautiful piano. A good amount of it is piano driven. And
Yeah,
then
just piano and Meatloaf singing. Yeah.
that's right. And then uh, there is a section where the drums and the band come in, but you hear what from to my ears, you hear strings, you hear horns that come in, and he comes in so passionately on the vocal.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, because he's trying to convey to her how much he loves her and how much he feels so grateful for what she's given to him, whether it be their time together, their love and affection for one another, or in the song, a child. And it goes into the final section where he's counting off all of the ways that he feels grateful to her, all of the things that she's done for him in life, in the relationship, he loves her for. Even though
Yep.
even though there are times where they may get frustrated with one another because relationships are like that. She has to know that within his heart and in his mind, he is there for her no matter what. And the final lyric is, when you're crying out loud, you know I love you. Meaning, through our life together, you can be as frustrated with me and as angry with me as you want, but you need to know that I love you no matter what happens.
Hmm.
And then there's a fade out at the end with the strings.
Yeah, very gentle string
Very,
figure that
yeah,
ends the piece.
at the very end. So for me, the reason why side B of Bad Out of Hell is a killer B side is that through each of the three songs, you're going through different emotions. You're going through the breakup of a relationship. You're going through the budding beginning of a relationship, only to have it fall apart in the end. And then you're having somebody, sorry, that is basically reflecting back on his life with his partner and feeling so grateful that they have this time together and he would not trade it for the world. Okay.
Hmm.
Again, it's for those reasons that for me, side B about Out of Hell is a killer B side. There is not one piece of music on this side of the album that I would skip. Or back in the day when you would lift the needle off the vinyl and move it over, forget that. Listen to it, enjoy it, relish in it, just be in the moment of this
It's
side.
a it, yeah, it's an incredibly immersive, um, just emotionally and musically. And yeah, it touches all those, major teenage touch points, but also kind of looks beyond it because a lot of obviously, there's lines and for crying out loud, like, can't you see my faded Levi's bursting apart? But there's other sentiments and for crying out loud that are very, mature and adult. So
Hmm.
it sort of is something that, as a 12-year-old, you kind of go, huh, that's beyond,
Yeah,
you know, faded Levi's bursting apart.
yeah,
So obviously there's some kind of arc going on here with the sign. And I agree, it's absolutely killer.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That I mean, even as a, I remember as an 8-year-old, uh, they did a video presentation of this album, and it was featured on network TV. And when they showed the video for Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and they get to the baseball play-by-play section, and you've got Carla DeVito and Meatloaf going at it, on stage. And it's like I'm an 8-year-old going, should I be watching this? Like, what the hell is going on here? Right? I've got my
yeah,
sisters watching it with me, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, it it was quite interesting. But
questionable decisions 101. Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, like, you can't argue with the fact or deny the fact that these three songs back to back make an impact, you know, in term
absolutely.
in terms of the sequencing and the running of emotions, in terms of the gamut of emotions that are in these songs. And again, you can look at these songs as three separate plays, three separate little vignettes that, of three different situations within a relationship format,
Hmm.
with couples. It, you know, but again, this to me is theatrical rock at its very best. You know, I will go on to say that side one to me has one glitch, all revved up and no place to go. Um, it's okay, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that song, but uh, Edgar Winter on sax or not, there's just something amiss about it. It just doesn't sit, it's okay. It's not one of the best songs in the album, but this run of these songs on side B, amazing.
Killer,
From
absolutely killer.
yeah, yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a very intricate, confusing description of bordering on R-rated of side B of Bat Out of Hell. Please put down in the comments below your opinion of side B of Bat Out of Hell. Is it a killer B side? Am I missing something? Have I lost the plot? Okay. Let me know what you think. And again, put your opinion of what you think is a killer B side. You know, again, we'd like to get some dialogue going on this idea. And yeah, I want to thank Jim Bricker for joining me yet again on an episode. And
Thanks for having me.
thanks for being here. It was great. And again, we will be back with more episodes of Attack of the Killer B-Sides as soon as we can get them done. Please look after yourselves and one another. Please click like and subscribe and do hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content we've got coming up. Yes, yes, that's the indication. Hit subscribe. And we will be back with more episodes as soon as we can get them done. Please look after yourselves and one another, and we'll see you soon with another episode of Attack of the Killer B-Sides. Bye for now.